So you just got your new drone and you cannot wait and super excited about bringing this bad boy up. Well, before you can do that, you have a couple things that you need to do to set it up, and other things also that you need to do in order for you to get your first flight ready, to be first flight ready. That's more like it. By the way, what do you think of this giant sweater? Yes. All right, let's go in there. Woo! Hey, it's Marc-Albert Beijing. How you doing today? Woo! Hope you are having a wonderful day so far. So if you're new here, I make videos about photography, filmmaking, content creation, all that good. So my hope is by the end of each video that you learn something valuable and be encouraged to create daily. So in today's video, just like I explained in the beginning of the video, we are going to be talking about the Air 2S. Specifically the setup and your first flight, what to do to get ready for them. All right, so we're gonna go over 3 things. 1, from taking the drone out of the bag to basically flying it. 2, the drone controller, so setting it up, getting it ready to actually have it connected to the drone and then to fly the drone. And at last, we're gonna go over the rules and regulation, the kind of the boring stuff. Leave that for last. All right, so let's get to it. First, you gotta activate the battery before you can actually put the battery inside the drone. So to activate the battery, you basically take the battery and charge it up for about 15 to 20 minutes, give or take. At least I did it for about 25 minutes, really. That's just my personal preference. You can just do it for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you want. So once you do that, you pretty much take it, and after the 15 minutes is over, you take the battery and then you place it right on top of the drone, and then you press it down, and you should be able to hear a click like this. So once you get that in place and pretty much all set and perfect, you now have to turn it on and all those different things. But before you turn it on, the arms, the unfolding of the arm is pretty easy. So the top arms, basically just pull them out completely and it just goes right back out. And for the bottom one, you basically have to slide it under and pretty much it will just open right up. So once you have the drone completely open, before you can power it up, the last thing you have to do, and you must do that before, because you can actually damage something in the drone if you don't do that before you turn it on. All right, so the gimbal guard needs to be off before you power on the drone. Powering on the drone is pretty much one tap which will indicate the battery level, and then the tap and hold to just power it on. And as soon as you do that, your drone is basically powered on. All right, now with the controller is pretty simple. It's just a regular gray controller that you've probably been getting that comes with all the drones. Really, it's nothing that special. I didn't select anything that special, so it's just simple gray controller pretty much. So with the controller, if you are holding on to it, at the very bottom of the controller you will find the 2 joysticks. So you just take them out and then you place them in and twist until you feel a nice little snug, and then that's pretty much set up as far as the controlling part goes. Then you pull up the antenna. That's right up there. To place your device in, you have it at the very top of the antenna, then you just push from the bottom and you should feel a nice little snug. And as soon as you do that, take the cable and then just plug it right in, and then go into the DJI Fly app to turn on the remote control. It's pretty easy. It's basically just like the drone. You tap once, it will indicate how much battery you have in the controller, and then you press and hold for about 2 seconds, then it should just turn on. Since you are flying the drone for the very first time, do an update check of the drone and the RC, basically just to make sure that everything is set before you actually take it up in the air. So for me, it did take me about 25 to 30 minutes. So I'd probably say it should be about the same for you. So once that update is done, to fly the drone, now using your controller, there is a button right next to the center button that's in the middle that has an H on it. So you can either like press that and then it should pop up and then you just basically take off. Or the next thing you can do is just bring both of the joysticks in, down, inward, and it should automatically fire up the engine, or should I say the motors to the drone. So once you get that done, to take off is pretty easy. You can either press the button that's on the screen on your device to just take off, or you can just use the left joystick and just push it forward. So once you push that forward, automatically the drone will just take right off. So the controllers, let's start with the left joystick. So for left joystick, if you push forward, the drone will go up. Then if you move it backward, then the drone will just go down, or should I say ascending or descending. Basically, if you move that same joystick to the left, your drone will basically turn to the left. And if you move it to the right, same thing again, you're just going to turn to the right. And now over to the right joystick. So when you push it forward, the drone will start going forward. If you push it back, the drone will start moving backward. Same for when you go left or right. You push it left, it will just go left. You push it right, it will just go right. Now the boring stuff, the the rules and regulations and all the yada yada that you need to know to make sure that you are flying as safe as possible and without you getting in trouble now. So first off, you have to register your drone. Basically, based on your area that you are living in, if you have the Mavic Air 2S, you definitely have to register it because it is over that 249 grams. So if it is over 200, let's see, if it's over 0.55 pound or more, then you have to register it. So on this site that I'm in, so if you are in the United States of America, then you have to go over the FAA drone zone.faa, and will just give you pretty much as far as all what you need to do, pretty much. And if you are living in a different country, then I'm not sure exactly what website you are using, but it is very highly recommended that you go on your local website and then just kind of like find out what your drone rule is in your area or in the area that you are about to travel to, so that way you make sure you don't get yourself in any trouble or getting your drone taken away, or worse, who knows. But yes, so since I live in Boston, Massachusetts, I'm using this website, which is the FAA dronezone.faa.gov. all right, so on that website, I have two different registrations. I have fly under Part 7 or as a public aircraft, and then I have the second one, which is fly under the exemption for recreational flyers, which is pretty much meaning flying for fun. So once you get there, you have the Part 107. Let's just say it is a long list. It might take you some time to actually read everything completely, as I personally have not read it yet, which I need to get on that. I would also suggest that you actually do make sure you don't do what I'm doing and actually read it thoroughly to make sure you don't get yourself in trouble, pretty much. So once you register your drone and everything, I think you pay only about like $5 to $10 to just register it and everything. You will have a code or whatever that you make sure that you have that on your aircraft and whatnot, but also you have to pass a test called Trust, which is, in other words, the Recreational UAS safety test. So you have to make sure you pass that test, and once you pass that test, You will have the proof of the registration and then the test and whatnot, so that way you are covered in all different angles. All right, so if you must know what are the rules for recreational flyers are, so you have rule number 1, which is fly for recreational purposes only, which is enjoyment for fun, nothing professional or anything like that. And you have number 2, you have to follow the safety guideline, which we'll get over in a second. And then you have keep your drone within visual line of sight, or use a visual observer who is co-located or physically next to or directly in communication with you. So basically that means if you flying your drone, make sure you have a co-pilot, and that person is responsible to let you know where the drone is and what the drone is doing and where it is, even though you may be focusing on just the screen to trying to get the shot that you need to get. If you have someone else, that person can just be the eye in the sky for you pretty much. And if you do not have somebody, then just every so often or every time you look down to make sure you're capturing the shot you're getting, but you're also looking up to make sure that you see where your drone is at all time, that you can still see the drone pretty much. That's what that means. Next thing is give way and do not interfere with main aircraft. So what that means is if you see an airplane, helicopter, or anything that, you know, that's not being flown with a remote control, then that just simply means stay the F out of their way. That's pretty much what that means. So, you know, this hitting one of them could basically cause a lot of damage, or even cause that other aircraft to just go down, and you don't want that, not at all. So there's that. All right, next thing, fly below 400 feet in control airspace. So class B, C, D, E, only prior authorized by LAANC or drone zone. So if you don't have any authorization, you cannot go above 400 feet or 120 meters. All right, next thing is fly at or below 400 feet in class G, uncontrolled airspace. So basically it's 400 feet or 120 meters to fly your drone is the highest you can go in the United States of America. Regardless, wherever you are, 400 feet or 120 meters is your limit pretty much. All right, and then you have take the trust test and carry the proof of the test with you. That's the next thing, which I mentioned earlier. And then have a current registration or mark basically outside of your drone. Pretty much once you have the actual registration number, you can be a little fancy with it. You order an actual sticker for it, and you just basically place that sticker right either somewhere on your drone that will not interfere with the drone pretty much. So there's that. And then last but not least is do not operate your drone in dangerous manner. For example, do not interfere with emergency response or law enforcement activities. So if you see any cops, ambulance, anything with a flashing light or car chase, whatever, gunshot, whatever it is, bomb dropping or anything like that, that is not the good time to actually put your drone up. I mean, it would be pretty cool just to capture that, but no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even bother thinking about it, because you know what? You're gonna get yourself in trouble for that. The last thing is do not fly under the influence of drugs or alcohol. So that's pretty much common sense. Meaning if you've had, you know, some whiskey, Hennessy, whatever there is out there to drink, don't fly your drone. If you've been smoking anything whatsoever, whether it's trees, anything whatsoever, just don't fly the drone. If you've been snorting anything up your nose, doesn't matter whether it's baking powder, flour, or even baby powder. I know, don't do it. Leave your drone down. Alright, so if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, share, and subscribe if you aren't already. And I will see you in the next one. Peace!